It is an interesting realization that God is actually blocking the way of Jews to know him and to heaven. He has blinded them. And he did so because he could not reason with them. He could not communicate with them. They would not listen to him. And so, left to their own devices, if they were able to understand who he was and what he was offering, they would so besmirch his name and his invitations and his covenant and his Torah as to destroy their credibility. So God was left with no choice but to say, no, you're not getting anywhere near the things that matter to me. I'm going to hedge up the way. It was the only way to protect them from Jews destroying them. There is a reason you don't ever see Yahowah's name associated with Judaism. God doesn't want it associated with Judaism. There's a reason that rabbis quote rabbis rather than Yahowah. God doesn't want them quoting him. There's a reason that Shabat writes of the Magog war saying nothing but nonsense. They're clueless. And it's designed to be that way. There's a reason that Jews will religiously observe the rabbi's version of Pesach, Passover, and not recognize that everything that they are requesting, everything that they are ordaining, has a pagan religious past. That nothing has anything to do with Yahowah's instructions. God despises religion, and the last thing he wants is a religious person in heaven. He has no interest in saving everyone. Quite the opposite. He is deliberately precluding the majority, the vast majority of people, everyone who is religious, from walking along the path he has provided to eternal life. He isn't being unfair. He isn't being unkind. Instead, just being merciful. He is the only moral, his is the only moral and rational choice. I'm telling you that if God did not put this filter in, this fence in, did not blind the religious among his people, then heaven would be as disgusting as is hell. So let's be clear. God isn't just making the way difficult to find. He is deliberately blocking it. He is erecting a preventative barrier to shut the religious out of heaven. He has accomplished this in such a way that the faithful will find it painful to approach. There isn't a Christian on the planet that knows what to do with the terms and conditions of the covenant or with any of the 7 Moed Miqra'ey, nor a Jew, nor a Muslim. They can't even tolerate the lone prerequisite to being part of the covenant, which is to walk away from Babel, from religion and politics. It's painful for them to even approach it, much less walk down that way. So it's hidden. God blockaded the approach to him. Now, the blockade here is not temporary, but it is not of stone either. It is hidden in the one place Yahowah can be assured the religious will never find it. Right in the midst of his rebuke of them. God offered his people the covenant and all the benefits associated with it. They rejected his offer. He introduced them to himself. He saved them. He enlightened them. He enriched them with their land. But they repeatedly withdrew, preferring the company of false gods and to being religious. Yahowah wasn't going to force them to be part of his family, so he let them go. Then he blocked the path back home, lest they corrupt it and take everything he had offered.